You're watching The Ugly Inside? Subscribe below.
So Southampton make our first trip to London this season. We head to Arsenal on Saturday, and joining me, the man himself, YouTube superstar, man like Robbie from Arsenal.
Man like that superstar, right?
From Arsenal Fan TV. Robbie, how are you feeling about Saturday's game? Arsenal play Southampton. We took 4 points from you last year.
Yeah, you know what? A little bit nervous because you lot did do so well against us last year. I cannot forget the game on Boxing Day. I think that ranks amongst one of our worst performances of last season because we were kind of flying high. As a matter of fact, you could actually say that Southampton completely derailed our season because we were flying high at that time. We went down there with a lot of confidence, even though the previous year we hadn't played well, and the previous year to that. But we went there with a lot of confidence and got absolutely smashed. And you know, that's from then on, our season fell apart. When you played us at our place now, it was a bit of a different matter. We absolutely battered you. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've seen a team get battered like that. But Fraser Forster just kept everything out. He must have pulled off about 6-7 world-class saves that night, and he was absolutely unbelievable. So I think when we play you here, it's a bit different to when we play at your place. I don't know what it is at your place, and it always seems to be around Christmas time, but here I think we'll be all right, and I'm kind of confident that we'll get a win. So
it's slightly different now this time. We've all got a few new faces. You've finally got a centre-back and a striker. How do you think those two players, Mustafi and Lucas Perez in particular, are going to have a say in this game?
Be interesting with the Mustafi one. I'd be interesting to see if he actually starts because I know he picked up a little bit of an injury the other day playing for Germany. Plus as well, Rob Holding, who's another guy that we signed, a young kid, played really, really well in the game against Southampton and Leicester, and seemed to form a great partnership with Lauren Koscielny. So he may not necessarily start, but Lucas Perez, I'm very excited to see, and I think a lot of fans are excited to see how he gets on, although he may not start because Giroud should be back to full fitness. So I reckon it'd probably be Giroud starting, maybe Perez coming off the bench at some stage. And I think the guy that we signed, who's actually the real star of the piece, is Granit Xhaka in midfield. He was absolutely brilliant against Watford, and I think he could be one of those key players for us this season. So those three, you know, I'd say out of all of them, I think Xhaka's the one that's going to be probably the player that you guys Southampton might be surprised about because the one that you haven't seen yet.
Now we've got a new system this year. We're playing pretty much a 4-4-2 diamond arrow formation. Who can we expect to give us a bit of grief this on Saturday afternoon? Is it Sanchez? Is it Walcott, Oxlade? How are they going to exploit us in the wings?
Well, I think if you play a diamond shape, are you sure you're going to play that against us? Because you know, I think that'd be very risky to play a diamond against Arsenal. Leicester sort of play that 4-4-2, but I don't know. I think that's risky to come here and play that. Walcott has started off the season pretty well. Played pretty decent, I thought, as well the other night when he came on for England. So he'll be a threat. Oxlade-Chamberlain's been playing all right. Those two haven't really performed well in the past against their old club, Southampton. So they'll need to step up. But yeah, Sanchez, of course, he'll be chomping at the bit. And I think, you know, Giroud, now that he's got competition from this guy Perez, you always seem to see the best of Giroud when he knows he's got a lot of competition. So I think it'd be very risky to play a diamond shape here at the Emirates for Southampton.
I'd say that's my biggest fear, you know, a narrow formation against some of the best wingers in the country. But let's talk about some of the Southampton players, and who would you say in particular is going to give Arsenal a bit of grief on Saturday?
Well, I think from set pieces, definitely, I really rate Van Dijk. Jose Font, I think that, you know, those two at the back are really, really good. And also I like Tadic. I think he's a very, very, very skillful player. You know, I'm surprised that he doesn't get more props because I really do rate. I don't see him week in, week out. I don't know if he does it on a consistent basis, but he's good. Nathan Redmond, who you signed from Norwich, top talent. You know, but I must say that I think, and maybe it's probably too early to say this, but it seemed to me like he had a stronger team last year. Obviously, you've lost a couple of players, but I don't know. He seemed last year was a very, very good Southampton team. This year, probably because I don't know enough about the new players, so I'm presuming, I'm supposed, but I just kind of feel that last season that team was that Shane Long as well. I forget him. He always seems to have a decent game against us, and he has a lot of pace. However, this time there's no Mertesacker for him to leave behind, so I think hopefully we should be able to shackle him.
And let's finally have a score prediction, mate. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go for 2-0 to Arsenal. I think the reason why I'm sort of sounding a bit confident is because this is almost like our first game of the season. We had the first game of the season against Liverpool. We were so underprepared. Had, 2 kids playing at the back, and even then we scored 3 goals. So bit better against Leicester, but against Watford we did play very well. And this is sort of we have 3 games. This is our second home game, and this is our first game since we sort of gone out there and been positive and got some real positive signings in. So I'm quite optimistic about this week. I think Southampton might be sort of catching us at a bad time for you guys. So I'm going to go for 2-0 for us.
Well, Robbie thinks 2-0. I reckon 1-1. That's me being an eternal optimist. But
you got it right last time.
But let us know in the comments below what your score predictions are. And don't forget to check out Robbie over on Arsenal Fan TV.
Thank you very much.